Hello everybody, my name is Matthew, and welcome to Hope Seen, a new video series exploring what it would be like to travel to some of the world's furthest places and to hear from the people who live there. Our goal with this series is for you to get a glimpse of what it's like to live in the world's hardest places and to hear firsthand from those people. Ultimately, it's for you to see how God is working in incredible ways through His local church. So let's not wait, let's go, and I'm excited to see what's in store. Our journey first begins in Nairobi, where I meet up with the local driver who will take me to our project location. Tearfund's work in Kenya takes place near a small town called Makindu, located in Makueni County, about a 3-hour drive southeast from Nairobi. It is one of the most arid regions of Kenya, receiving good rainfall only once every 3 to 4 years. Water is scarce, and families often have to walk 4 to 8 kilometers one way to reach a water point. As a result, crop failures are common and hunger is prevalent. In response, Tearfund works with a local Christian organization called Fideli Trust to train farmers in climate-smart farming techniques and enroll them in village savings groups so that families can grow more food and slowly lift themselves out of poverty. I love how the name Fideli means compassion in Swahili, and I'm excited to witness the amazing results we have been able to accomplish with them and the local church. Today is Sunday, and we're off to attend one of the churches nearby who have been part of our church-based community transformation training, also known as CCT. After a slight bit of Sunday morning traffic, we reach our destination and can hear that the party has already begun. Churches in Kenya are full of life, with lots of singing and dancing. But right now, I can only think about one thing, what I'm about to preach on. I was asked beforehand by Pastor Solomon if I could give a short message, which I was happy to do, but what I wasn't prepared for was to receive some stylish new robes. After the service, I had the chance to talk with Pastor Solomon to learn a little bit more about the church and what it has been doing. All right, this is Pastor Solomon, right?
Solomon Zoka.
Yeah, and this is your church over here. What's the name of your church?
The church is called the Africa Brotherhood Church.
Okay.
Honi.
And how long have you been a pastor here?
2 years.
2 years.
Now this is the third year.
Okay.
Beginning as 9th of January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many people come to this church?
Around 100. Actually, my church, what is now doing? Right now, we are building school,
Okay.
high school, in order to help the community
Okay.
have quality education
Okay.
that can enable the students or the kids in
Yeah.
the community to be able to take care of themselves
Okay.
in the future. There are other schools around, but they are very far. Around
Okay.
5 kilometers to 6 kilometers.
Oh, okay.
So there is a need to begin both the school, primary school and secondary school. There are so many needs in the community. As church, we are striving to assist some of the community. For now, we are paying one kid the school fee and supporting him with clothes, school uniforms, tools and other materials.
Yeah.
We also take time sometimes to visit the vulnerable people in the community, and we take some goods to them.
Hearing about what Pastor Solomon and his church is doing is interesting. CCT is all about training and equipping the local church to be the agent of change within its own community. And it just so happened that education was one of the issues that they had decided to address. After speaking with Pastor Solomon, we take a look at what's cooking for lunch before we enjoy the rest of our Sabbath.
Hello. Who's this?
You can take.
I'm Margaret.
Margaret.
Yes. I'm just
You're cooking onions.
cooking the greens and onion.
Onion.
Yes.
Smells fantastic.
And garlic.
Oh yeah, the garlic, of course.
Yes.
That's what makes it smell so good. Yeah.
Today we're going to visit one of the local village savings and loans groups, also known as VSL, that Fideli has helped start nearby. In this part of Kenya, and much of the global south, access to formal saving services and affordable credit is extremely limited. As a result, when families need cash, they are forced to sell valuable assets such as cookware, livestock, or even land. Or often they approach predatory loan sharks who exploit their situation and charge unaffordable interest rates. Both options perpetuate the cycle of poverty. In this situation, VSL groups provide a lifeline. They provide families, particularly women, a way to build up their savings and gain access to loans that can be used to start businesses, expand their land, or be used in times of emergency. But these groups are so much more than savings. Beyond the financial, these groups also develop and build strong social bonds within the community, often leading to collective projects that create large-scale change. And the amazing thing is, since 2013, Fideli has been able to enroll nearly 48,000 people in these groups. While I'm here, I have the chance to talk to Samuel, one of the village agents who helps create and train these groups.
Okay, my name's Samuel Mutua.
Yeah.
I'm from Kenya.
Yeah.
And my county is called Makueni County. I do work with Fadhili Trust as a village agent. As a village agent, we've got quite a number of things that we do in the group. Now, the first thing we can do in the group is that we come to this area like this, we mobilize members, we come and talk to them. Then after talking to them, after mobilizing them, we come with a program of now explaining to them more about Fadhili Trust. We explain to them what is Fadhili, the benefits or the program that we do. We are going to give to them like the VSL, conservation agriculture, things to do with like CCT. We come up with the groups now, then we educate the members on doing their VSL.
As I witness the group in action, I am struck at just how organized and serious the members are. If you're late, you have to pay a fine. If you speak out of turn or turn your cell phone on, it's another fine. These women mean business, and it's great to see how passionate they are about saving. After the group meeting, we have a nice lunch comprised of mango, pumpkin, beans, and chai. Then I visit one of the shops run by one of the VSL members. She tells us how the VSL group has helped her set up this shop and hopes that she can buy more inventory soon.
This is the kitchen now.
For the kitchen?
They prepare. And this is the fan now.
Yeah.
Na inaendelea. Inasomeshwa business. Inajua vile inaweza. Lakini hakuna pesa. Njaa imekuja.
It is now day 4, and we're going to visit some of the farmers who've been trained in new climate-smart agriculture practices to help them grow more food, to eat, and to sell. One of the women we meet is named Christine.
Kwa nafanyia kwa wengine, sasa nikaendelea nikanunua my plot na nikajenga. Isipokuwa changamoto kankuwa tu lakini mvua ikinyesha. Sasa yule naye nasi yeye yongela hivi na si product na leo kaliole ndio ndio simu kubwa na meko na sio.
Christine explains how her and her husband have been working together to cultivate their land for 22 years and run a small produce shop. But for much of that time, that work was very difficult. And during many years, they struggled to make ends meet. But looking at her farm today, you would never be able to tell. The corn stalks are some of the tallest I've ever seen, easily 12 or 14 feet tall. Christine tells us, thanks to the farming training she received, she was able to improve her yields by 70 to 80%. She just finished digging a reservoir to catch water during the rainy season, which she hopes will increase the yield even further. After visiting Christine, we visited another church that has been participating in CCT. They explain all that they've done and accomplished. What's impressive is the fact that they've invited other churches in the area to participate in the training and work together with them to expand God's kingdom.
2022 tunafanikiwa kukomana na Fadhili Trust.
So in 2022 they had the opportunity to come across Fadhili Trust during CCT sensitization. So they were invited for CCT training. 4 members, he was one of them. So since that time they have been enlightened to do some of the CCT activities within the community and in the church as well.
After the presentation, we visit an elderly man named Jehoshaphat, which the church has been reaching out to.
Jehoshaphat.
Jehoshaphat.
Oh, nice. And he is one of the people that your church has helped as part of CCT, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how long has he been living on this property?
For a long time.
For a long time.
Around 20 years.
Okay.
40 years.
A couple years ago, Jehoshaphat's old home was crumbling due to the rain and weather. It would leak regularly and he would get sick often. Here is where Jehoshaphat's old home used to be. As you can see, today it is no more than a mound of mud and weeds. After seeing Jehoshaphat's condition, the church got together to build him a new home to live in.
And what is his future plans? Now what? Now that he has his house, does he have any plans for the future?
Wina maundu bangete nundu wa ebinda yokete. Imibango yakwe ebinda yokete nimyo.
Ebinda yokete. Makubanga kwenda kumanda umuka. Ngabango ngatetwa.
One of the things I noticed about Jehoshaphat's condition, apart from the sheer material poverty, was the loneliness. To live alone in that house and on that land with no one to visit and care for him. But now, today, that is changing. With the local church coming by not only to care for him with food and supplies, but also to provide him with much needed companionship. It is now the 5th and final day of my trip, and we are visiting a local hillside nearby to see the new nature-positive land restoration project. This project aims to restore an entire landscape to replenish nature and benefit the families who live here. Over the years, clear-cutting and overuse of the land has resulted in significant erosion and water loss in the area. making it more difficult for farmers to access water and to grow their crops. This massive project involves the planting of hundreds of thousands of trees, the creation of natural barriers to erosion, and training families in sustainable agriculture practices will help restore the landscape and enhance the long-term sustainability of farming in this area. After ascending the hill, we travel back down, and I hear from one of the families who lives here.
Sometimes sad to eat, sometimes sad to raise up my family,
Yeah.
sometimes sad to raise up my plantation, because every season I want to plant more. In the future I'm hoping to get a good job,
Okay.
to raise enough money to raise up my plantation in the season
Yeah.
to come, so that I get to sustain my family, my children go to school, enough food, and still I get to invest in my project.
Okay. Good.
One of the last things we do is to visit one of the local schools nearby, which has been involved in some of the tree planting initiatives. It is a joy to see the huge smiles on the children. Despite the challenges, I'm optimistic about the future here in Makueni, Kenya. I've been encouraged to see how local churches are reaching out to meet spiritual and physical needs within their communities, how with a little bit of training, families are able to lift themselves out of poverty, and how God is working here in incredible ways.